Thank you to Liquid IV and Prize Picks for sponsoring this video. More on them in just a bit.
Hello there, citizens of the Reject Nation. We are here today doing the Gamers React. Now, the Gamers React, what that means here is that us three have played the game.
That's true.
We all know how it goes, so we'd like to do a compare and contrast and see what gets brought to life based off of our experiences with the game. It's excited to share with y'all. But then tomorrow, that's the blind reaction. A lot of people prefer that, rightfully so. It's the blind reaction. Makes a lot more sense. So you guys can go ahead and watch that tomorrow as well. Watch both. If you don't care about spoilers, stay here. True. If you want to watch the blind, fresh experience where they know nothing, you should go over there. Anyway, how y'all feeling today? So we're going to watch TLOU 5, baby. TLOU 5. Well, I'm excited. Let's check in with our feelings. Aaron, let's start with you, my friend. How are you feeling today?
I'm doing good, Joe Miller Grimes.
Joe Miller Grimes. Walking dead.
Walking dead here. Yeah, I'm doing good. Had some decent sleep. We're shooting this in the morning. And I'm excited because the show's been really great so far. I've been really enjoying everybody's engagement with these videos, but also watching the blind react over there on Mondays. They've been killing it, and I'm excited to just see how they've changed it, how they've kept things the same, and everything in between.
Thank you for that. Andrew, I know you're chipper today.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
You say Joel. I say he sounded like Tommy there. Sounded like Gabriel Luna. But
okay.
Joel.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways,
half-assing all this.
I am really tired. I'm really tired. Yeah. But I'm excited. I've enjoyed season 2 thus far, and
I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
I'm weird here.
I've enjoyed season 2 thus far. I really love this interpretation of Dina, and I'm excited to see where we go from here. I have a suspicious feeling where we're going to end it, but I got an imagination we're going to see Lake Hill this episode, so we'll see. Greg, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling wide awake and chipper and full of life today. I'm feeling
energy, baby.
Feeling so much energy.
Get that Huel.
I think I got like 18 hours of sleep last night. It's kind of incredible.
Yeah, it sounds like me.
Uninterrupted. Yeah, I feel pretty good right now. I'm excited to watch this. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited that you're here. So if you can go ahead and leave it locked right here on this video. That would mean the world. Helps promote the video. Also, Aaron, I see a thingy over there.
That thing over there in the distance there.
Right there. You want to go ring that dang bell.
Well, don't ring that bell so you can get notified every time the dang new video coming out. All right?
Now, dang you super sexies. You guys have helped us out in so much of a clutch. Half of these Last of Us reactions have been copyright claimed. So we really appreciate everyone who is supporting us. I'm trying not to slip into the Southern voice. Now
it's too easy.
It was already a halfway Southern. Now I'm doing like a halfway of my normal voice. But thank
Gradual
you.
transition.
When the worlds are colliding. But thank you, Super Sexies, for following us at our Patreon page and helping the channel out, supporting us that way. And that's where you also get the full-length reaction watch along, where you get to sync up with your own copy of The Last of Us. So it's like we're sitting on the couch ruining the whole thing for you. So you plug stuff. And also, Super Sexies get discounts on our Reject Nation shop. And if you want to just, skip the Patreon, go Reject Nation shop, you can go right ahead and do that as well. Now, we got this new Last of Us shirt right here. All three of us be rocking it. It's the De-Evolution shirt.
Oh.
Composed from the brain of Aaron Alexander with the art by
Joanne.
So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Aaron and Joanne. And thanks to all of you who have bought one. And once you get it, please tag us, Real Rejects, on social media. Would mean the world. You boys ready?
Let's get it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Right. No recap.
Who is this?
I think that's a girl from the WLF.
Yeah, that we saw at the beginning.
episode.
Alana, what's her name?
Oh, yeah, the one we met with Isaac. She's the new Catherine.
Your favorite character. Is this Lake Hill, the hospital?
No idea yet.
Because we know what's down in the basement. Feels like it is. Level 1.
I guess they're saying, like, we must barricade this off.
Yeah, I was thinking it looks familiar.
I think we can safely conclude, guys.
It's a hospital.
If I was getting executed, Isaac would have come himself.
There's a shooting near the borderline between us and the Scars, and he's dealing with that now. If it's war again, we're gonna need all the soldiers we have, so he's wondering why you apparently killed some of your own men.
Cool.
Including Leon.
Leon, Jesus.
I like how they're driving home more of the Civil War.
My unit is responsible for
Securing the hospital, I know your orders. I gave them the lease. What happened?
We cleared the ground floor up to the 6th.
Cool.
A few scattered infected here and there, nothing we couldn't handle. All that was left was the basement.
I think they're building it up, man.
Rat King.
They're building it up.
Yes.
The only way in or out of the basement is here, the stairwell. So yesterday, that's where I sent a squad down to B1. The whole floor was empty, not even rats.
Hey.
Good tease.
I sent another squad down, and I put Leon in charge, because a few minutes in, he radios back. There's cordyceps on the walls, the floor. 5 minutes later, he radios again. This time, he was struggling
like
to
a note
breathe.
that you
He
find
could
in
hardly
the game.
talk.
I think there might be, like, spores down there.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Maybe he had been bit. I said, Leon, where you bit? He said it's in the air.
It is the spores! We're doing spores! Oh, cool.
I knew it wasn't in the vents, or we would have all been infected weeks ago.
I like how they're treating the spores like an evolution.
And we did what Leon said. We sealed them in.
Oh, how horrifying. Even giving, like, an origin to the spores is really cool.
As far as I'm concerned, Sergeant Park, you resolved the situation permanently and heroically. We owe you a debt.
Damn, these two women are fucking amazing. See, this is part of the fun of the Gamers React, is that the spores weren't in the last season, and now we get to be excited for it.
I'm sorry about your son.
Leon was a son?
Damn.
Shit, what a note. But yeah, do you see what I mean, though? Like, we had the feeling of being a little, some of us were bummed out that the spores weren't in the last one, and now we get to have that, like, catharsis together.
Right, because they
That's
had
cool.
the hive mind in the first season.
Yeah.
Right, but I like that they've saved it for a narrative purpose here.
Exactly. Yeah, that's fun. And on top, they're doing twofold. They're building up the Rat King for the gamers who know, and they're also building up the spores, and they're even building up like different types of infected, like how they're doing with the Stalker.
Yeah, but I like that what it seems like here, it's only in extremely heavy circumstances that the spores come out. And we see less of those, obviously, from the first season then up to this point.
Give her Dina.
Yeah.
I bet next season. Yeah, I bet next season it'll be Abby.
Yeah, I could see that.
Be a bold ass
that's
move.
that's where the focus will be on, is her, right?
Yeah, I think it'll be a bold move next season. Show up with Abby.
I like how they perfectly captured
The theater.
Day 2.
Pinnacle theater. Like that she's using a gun clip to trace.
They have a big ass generator down there. Natural gas, baby. You figured it out yet?
Getting there.
You'll find a safe way to get us to the
Surprisingly, it's so
hospital,
light.
right? Can I help?
No.
Why? Because I'm stupid?
That's not the word I would use.
Intellectually inferior.
Really? What word then?
Non-school oriented.
You, I'm in a school. Let me help.
She's self-educated.
I'm triangulating. Do you know how that works?
Yes? With triangles. I'm gonna leave you alone now and go and explore the rest of this place because you're smart as and you're figuring it out.
Ellie.
Yes?
Oh man, you two and your flirty looks.
Ugh.
Yep. They really recaptured that look.
I have thoughts and feelings, but I'm saving it for the end. I will say it is an interesting change how they're approaching Ellie this season. But
This is the music in the game when they see the giraffes at Salt Lake City, Joel and Ellie.
good point.
They have a chance to turn back.
Oh, more guitars.
But it's like a different kind of riff on it. I like it.
Well, it's thematically appropriate for that wonder and that shared memory with Joel.
Andrew, correct me if I'm wrong. The first time we see a guitar in the theater, she plays and it cuts to a flashback, right?
I believe so.
I think we're
yeah.
about to go to a flashback. I think we're about to get more Pedro. Music is a
Oh, is she gonna play
transportation.
Future Days?
Oh, I gotta tune it with my remote. Hold on. A little strum.
Yes.
Wow.
Future Days, baby. Oh.
She can't do it.
If I ever
Yeah, she can't. That was the last song you taught her.
Yeah, we're definitely obviously getting that scene at some point.
Did you figure it out?
I think so, yeah.
Good.
Where did they find a few that looks exactly?
This second she got in touch with her Joel memory. It realigned her revenge focus. That was a cool shift.
Do you see this long-ass building? We cut through and slipped by.
Sweet.
Nora should be on the first floor, far end of the north wing.
Wait, how the fuck do you know that?
They never shut up. I hear everything.
Middle of a fucking war and they're just broadcasting their positions.
Yeah, so I've been thinking about that.
But it's good plot convenience.
Maybe the scars are like that? No electricity or technology? Because these motherfuckers talk on the radio like they know nobody's listening.
It's actually a good explanation.
Yeah.
They're overconfident. It gives us an edge.
It does, but what we're doing is reckless, so kind of a wash.
I'll say, Dina, your makeup is always intact, though.
If we were to leave now, it'd be
just
dark
thinking
by the
that.
time we got to the big fucking something, right? Mm-hmm. Let's go be reckless.
That's cool. Dina's going with her on day 2. Not happen.
Nope.
Yep.
Look at that beautiful green screen.
They're really there in post-apocalyptic Seattle.
Look pretty for me, Dina. You're going to be on camera.
Let's just talk like everything's fine, because if I get too anxious, I'm gonna barf again.
All right.
Like this feeling of paranoia, like they're being watched.
What are you gonna name it?
If it's a girl, Ellie. If it's a boy, Elijah. Really? No.
Elijah?
Why? It's a cool name.
What the fuck?
Hey, pile of bodies.
Feel their love.
Oh, interesting. The prophets looked older
feel
this
this.
time.
Jeez.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, the war is a lot more in your face this time around.
Oh, she gonna yak again? Yeah.
The caught between a civil war and the way they're illustrating that is strong. Are this the same bodies? Did they move the bodies here?
That I don't know.
Do you want to go back? I'll take you back. You don't need to do this with me.
Wow, what a nice offer.
It's a different choice here because this is so personal for Dina too, with Joel.
You know, you never asked me about the first person I killed.
Finally getting it.
You lived in a cabin in a forest, and I would get so bored cooped up with my mom and sister. I would just beg them, just let me play outside. She wouldn't let me go outside alone. But one day I just fucking did, and I had a gun, so who's gonna fuck with me? But since everyone's past is fucked, and we've all heard everyone's fucked stories, how do you think this one goes?
Oh, no.
Gonna kill her mom and sister. Oh, no.
Raiders?
I heard them screaming, and I ran back with my gun out, but I was too slow because I was fucking 8. And when he heard me, he turned around, and he looked really startled. And when I shot him, he looked more startled.
How did you get to Jackson?
Doesn't matter.
Jeez.
This is what matters. Whatever reason Joel gave those people to do what they did, he didn't deserve that. What if my mom and sister were beaten to death in front of me? What if that motherfucker made me watch as he did it?
Oh, God, yeah.
Would it make a difference if my family had hurt his people first?
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
This is interesting.
If he had gotten away, I promise you, I would have hunted him down forever.
Oh, I'm so glad they incorporated this.
Yeah.
Damn.
No, I love this version of
This
Dina.
is so much
more.
Dina's show, right? Like, lately, it really has been. Damn.
Both of theirs, man.
If I die, it's on me. It won't be your fault. So what do you want to do?
After you said that, let's go home.
Keep going.
Yeah, that made Dana so much better in the show. She's in the game. She's great in the game, but man.
She's so much more.
Well, her revenge mission is tied to more than solely, like,
Just
supporting Ellie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also they made her useful as far as the planning of how they go about it.
The searchlights are up high to scan the outside, which means there'll be no line of sight to the inside. That door's open, and nothing's come out to kill us.
Okay. Once it's waiting.
They haven't made a good amount of noise.
I'm gonna take a peek.
Yeah, you should do that because you're the one who can't get infected.
She's like, all right, good point. You should just do listen mode right now.
Shooting has to be a last resort, okay? Because if the wolves hear gunfire, then we'll have a whole army up our ass.
It is like preparing to go on a level mission.
And we have to make a choice between shooting or running. We run.
Last resort. You got it.
They should have upgraded the silencers.
Oh, you think that no matter what happens, I'm just gonna start firing?
Literally every
You're
single
impulsive.
time. Yes.
Yeah.
Don't get angry.
Impulsive.
You're a little crazy, and that's exciting. That's one of the reasons I love you.
Oh.
Oh. She said love.
You love me?
Oh, babe.
All the right way.
I know.
Oh.
She said the Han.
Reverse Han.
So tell me again, what's the plan?
Knives or run?
If I didn't play the game, I'd think like Dina's gonna die. Like how much they're like ramping up this love. For all we know, they might really throw us for a loop here.
They really have to change the finale of it.
Cool. I love like
This is so scary.
Yeah, we got the horror element now.
In games and shows and movies and shows, when you set the plan, and that way you know what it is, and you wait to see how wrong it goes.
Now we got to improvise.
This is eerie sounds they're doing.
No.
I'm so tense.
So this way then.
This is the calm before the storm.
Keep looking in the dark corners, expecting some.
Lots of windows in here.
Oh, is this the Shambler part?
I mean, I thought that was the subway.
What is this?
Oh, there's a stalker in there. Oh, that's a body or
I
something.
can't really see, so maybe it is.
I just hope Roxy's purged Tara by this point.
Ew.
She definitely did. I can guarantee you that.
They're back.
What the fuck is that?
Nope.
That's
Not
it.
a stalker. Not the stalker, please.
Not before he got me.
Fucking bit you.
What was I supposed to tell you? You would have.
Guess you're so loud.
Nope.
Whichever one it follows, the other one comes up and takes it out from behind. Plan?
Plan.
And do not use your gun. Do not use your gun.
Please don't kill Dina.
Oh, two of them!
Oh no! Jesus Christ!
What do we do?
I hate it.
Let's go back the way we came.
No.
There is more fear when it's like two young girls.
Three. What the freak?
Three.
Oh hell no!
My God.
Oh God! Oh Jesus!
Oh my God,
Christ.
there's so many.
We gotta go.
You're gonna run in there, secure the gate, secure however you can, and stay in there. Dina, I can get bit a lot. You can't. Do as I say.
I mean, you could be trained and
Oh, attention and stakes are so much more real now.
smart. Okay, come on, Ellie. Come on, Ellie. She's using her gun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have no choice.
That is so scary. Oh, damn, you're lucky you didn't shoot Dina. You're a great shot.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh.
No. Oh my God!
Jesus.
Oh my God!
Oh no. Damn. Oh no.
Oh, Jesus. This is like a nightmare.
Game about to restart. I don't know.
Who's that? Who is clearing house?
Who's helping? Who's helping?
Please tell me it's who I think
Is it Tommy?
Is it Jesse?
I was thinking Jesse.
Jesse or Tommy?
Jesse. Please Jesse. Please
It's
Jesse.
Jesse. It's Jesse.
Yeah.
Looks like his hair.
Yeah, definitely looks like his hair. Yeah.
Did you get bit?
What? No. She's okay. I was watching. He didn't bite her. Jesse, I swear.
His hair looks a little more in line.
Oh, wow. What a fun remix. It is playing out so different.
Don't stop! Keep going!
Next.
Go!
In the
Woo,
VG,
yeah,
grabbed her by the mouth.
This is so tense.
The park! We can lose them in there! Come on!
Oh, my God. It's like a terrible idea to go to the park.
Because I understand why they would make it 2 for the game. You know,
Sure,
you have the
sure.
mechanic of having the partner.
Stop! We don't go in there.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, I think a park is a terrible idea.
Not scars.
What are they doing?
They said masks on.
No, they said scars.
Not coming in the park.
More infected.
Maybe. But we can't go back that way.
How did you even catch up with them, dog?
Join the Seraphites.
How did you find us?
The map you left in the theater.
Oh.
Impressive triangulation, by the way.
Very similar to Abby finding them.
How did you find the theater?
Do I look like I want to fucking talk to you right now?
Oh.
You came alone?
No. Me and Tommy.
Good Tommy.
So what now?
Found our way out. Get back to the theater. Shelter for the night. Meet up with Tommy. And then we all go home.
No, Ellie. What the fuck is that?
It's a sign.
As much as I've been in sympathy for the Seraphites, to now see this in Ellie and their perspective suddenly makes them scary.
Uh-oh. Are they about to... Yep. Oh, God. Oh, I don't want to watch.
So taught the prophets.
Ugh.
Sickle, yeah.
Yeah. Now you see the parallels between them and Isaac. Torturing.
Especially him and Isaac, because they're both bald with beards.
Yeah, get it there.
Wow.
Wow.
I don't want to see his intestines.
Oh, he's gonna feel her love.
Oh, his
Jesus.
intestines.
Come and get your love.
How are you free?
Whoa, what are they doing?
Oh God.
You guys Oh shit! No! Oh,
Hopefully
this
those
is
aren't
so
poison.
chaotic.
Oh, this is legitimately scary.
Yeah. Ellie has to go at it alone, man. Oh, Jesus.
May she guide us.
May she guide us.
May she guide you
Where
off a
do
cliff.
I know her from? It's bugging me.
Reject Nation, summer's coming up fast, which means we got beach days, hikes, maybe 1 or 2 outdoor shoots lined up, maybe. And if there's one thing I've learned while getting in shape this year, it's that hydration makes a huge difference. Back at the end of January, I weighed 218 pounds. And as of the last time I weighed myself, I am 179 now. 6-pack Greg coming in. I need it for the summer. But in all seriousness, Liquid IV, and these are bags I bought. They didn't send it. I bought them myself. Liquid IV has been a constant in my life. I take one at least once a day. The one I mainly take is their sugar-free hydration multiplier, especially their raspberry lemonade, my favorite. It's real simple. You just tear it open, pour it into 16 ounces of water. You can either shake it, mix it, you're good to go. Sometimes I mix it with my protein shake to give my protein shake a little bit extra flavor. I especially use it after cardio or during long work days, and even on rest days when I want to stay sharp. It's just a great pick-me-up. It feels so good. And Liquid IV, one of the advantages that they have 3 times the electrolytes than your leading sports drink, plus 8 essential vitamins and minerals, and it's powered by LIV Hydra Science, which basically helps your body absorb everything fast. It's vegan, gluten-free, soy-free, and seriously, no artificial junk. So if you're gearing up for a better summer, looking for a good midday pick-me-up, you know hydration's important, the multitude of reasons to support your body and also to support the channel, Liquid IV actually helps. So you can go to liquidiv.com and use code REJECTS to get 20% off your first order. That's liquidiv.com, code REJECTS. Thank you again, Liquid IV, for partnering up with us yet again. Love you so much.
Nice hiding spot.
She's just trying to kill one person.
They're all in her way, Greg.
Guys, we're trying to kill the wolves too. Let's be on the same side.
The enemy of my enemy
Is my acquaintance.
Is that lake kill? I can't see a thing.
Yeah, oh shit, where are you running into? Where are you running into?
This episode is already so dense.
And so different.
Yeah, I love it.
Damn.
Oh my God, Ellie's impulsive ass can go straight to the hospital by herself. God damn it, Ellie.
Oh, bear.
Oh, I can't wait to see her murder that dog.
Thanks, Greg.
Brutally destroy that pup.
No.
I was totally kidding. I'm really hoping they avoided this episode.
Well, they avoided Shimmer in the last one.
Like the Lost World, from what I remember about it when I was a boy.
Oh, in the long grass.
Yeah.
It was a critter or something. All clear.
Nora.
Oh, Nora, yeah. Oh, we're gonna do it this episode. Okay.
Yeah, CLD too.
I don't know. It's already so dense. I didn't think we'd get it to this point already.
So did Ellie just like get in here?
I think
Put
so.
that shit down.
Hey, we got the line.
Hands up.
Put
Turn
that
around.
shit down.
Let's see if they recreate the shot.
Oh, they have to. She's got to have that gun.
She gonna say that line though?
Yep.
Let's see. Let's wait.
You remember me? Yeah, you remember me.
Yeah, she said it.
Where's Abby?
You shoot me, the sound will have every soldier come running.
You'll still be dead. Tell me where she is and maybe I let you go.
We could have killed you.
Maybe you should have.
Oh, this is line for line.
I'm sorry you saw it happen. No one should ever have to see something like that.
Stop it.
Oh, that's different.
I still hear his screams.
Yeah.
It was a terrible thing, the way he died.
I feel like Ellie's more trigger happy in this though.
You the little bitch got what he deserved.
Ooh,
Yep.
she said it.
She said it.
That sounded just
That
like
sounded
Ellie.
just like Ashley Johnson, yeah.
Oh, he's firing first.
Really recreated the hospital.
Oh my God, impulsive ass Ellie.
You can't escape this, Nora.
Are you gonna fucking
Come on, go. Let's see some spores. Holy moly, ow, damn. Oh, that could have seriously injured her.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, the red room.
Basement 2.
It's got the red lighting.
Jesus, come on, Ellie. Ellie should be able to make that shot.
This is such an exciting episode. So much is happening. Oh.
And it's so foreign to them. They have no idea what they're dealing with.
Right. Just think the Rat King is somewhere nearby. No, she's not going to run into it.
Oh.
Damn.
Jesus.
So horrifying.
Oh. Is that the sound of the Rat King?
I think it's the Rat King sound, yeah.
Oh. Oh, man. Oh, what?
Wow, it's like Davy Jones's ship. That
Hey,
happens.
It's coming out of it.
I could see that visual, the comparison you made. Did you remember in the game, they were in the wall like that too?
Yeah.
It was terrifying. It scared the crap out of me the first time I played and they came out of the wall. That's such a cool shot.
Leon!
Is that Leon?
It's Leon!
Leon!
I think what we just saw were the first few of the Rat King. How the Rat King's formed yet.
Oh, that's a great way to make the red. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
And we do know they changed things up, but Abby's supposed to fight her on the same point.
Stupid bitch.
Such a specific name, Leon. Great way to
We're
be.
infected. You killed us both.
Oh, I love those shots so much.
Did I?
Say it. You're her.
You're her.
Ha 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 ha.
The immune girl, you're real. Yeah? Where's Abby? Don't you know what he did?
Now she's the helpless one.
I don't care. He killed everyone in that hospital, including the only fucking person alive that can make a cure from you.
Wow, that's an addition.
That was Abby's fault.
Oh, that's so
You
bad.
shot him in the head. That's what he did.
Whoa.
I know.
Oh, yeah! Oh, she's gonna do it.
I love how excited you are about this moment right now.
Well, recreating, that's why. It's one of my favorite
Where's
moments.
Abby?
She got that crazy look in her eyes, dude.
Torture like she did to Joel, or like Abby did.
Is there like a stick, like a pipe, like in the? Yeah, there has to be.
Look
A
around.
metal pipe,
There you
layer
go.
reels. I mean, she called Joel a little bitch, so she's gonna get what's coming to her.
Oh,
Moment of truth. Moment of truth, Nora.
are we gonna press square? What's gonna...
Where is she? No. Where is she? Where is she?
Ooh,
Cool.
I really thought it was gonna end there.
I thought it was gonna end with a handshake,
Like a handshake.
like the tremble.
Wow, really it hits.
Hey, kiddo.
Oh, man, fuck. Oh, shit, fuck.
Hi.
Oh, what a great post. What a great
This was
tease.
episode 5, so I imagine episode 6. Well, we'll talk about it.
Reject Nation, the basketball playoffs are heating up. And if you want to turn your takes into something real, you've got to check out Prize Picks, our go-to in the daily fantasy sports world. If you've never tried it, here's how it works. It's relatively simple. You pick 2 to 6 players, and you guess whether or not they'll get more or less than the stat line Prize Picks sets, like Luka for more than 28 points, or Tatum for more than 8 rebounds. Basketball terminology. It's that simple. If your picks hit, you win. Even my dumb noggin can keep up with that. And the more picks that you string together, the more money you can make. Up to 1,000 times your entry. And what's cool is, it's not just basketball. You can mix and match players across different sports like baseball, football, hockey, even esports. It's like building your own custom bet, but it's all based on player stats and you're in full control. Plus, they invented something called Flex Play, which means even if one of your picks misses, you can still win cash. And payouts are super fast. I've seen it hit in under 15 minutes. So here's what you can do. You can download the app today and use code REJECTS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, that's code REJECTS, $50 instantly after your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Damn.
Woo!
Oh, man.
I got thoughts. I got
So
thoughts.
good.
All right, Reject Nation. First of all, I would like to say that if you watch these reaction highlights, that is due to the great work and hard efforts of an editing company called Prepper. Thank you. So Prepper, the Reject Nation team over there, thank you guys for slaying and allowing those reaction highlights to be up. And if you are listening to Apple or Spotify, or better yet, our Real Rejects Clips and Shorts channel, where these reviews are going to be getting uploaded to, and maybe you're watching from there right now, you can go watch the reaction on the main channel. We just watched episode 5 of season 2 of The Last of Us. All right. Well, I would love to hear some thoughts from you boys. Aaron with a notepad today. Aaron,
you wrote a novel. You wrote a novel over there, buddy.
A half novel over here.
What you got, buds? What you got? What you feeling? What you thinking? Lay it on.
I feel really good. I mean, granted, it was a pretty dark episode, but I think as far as the way it was adapted, I feel really good about the changes that they made over the course of the episode. I think the way that they're able to not sacrifice impact, but do it in a way that's streamlined is really well executed and masterfully written by Craig Mazin. And I think the way that they were able to tease the fact that this story is about perspective and about love and about pain was really done extremely well. By the beginning of the episode, talking about Leon, and we see it from the perspective of somebody who loved and cared about that character. And then when we finally see what the effects of what that person experienced through Ellie's perspective, you see how horrifying it is. Right. I think showcasing that up top was really cool, or teasing that in the beginning and then showing that at the end was a great decision. I think the way that this show was able to capture the tension of the game and the horror of that. I think watching the show, but also listening to the podcast that Craig Mazin, Neil Druckmann, and Troy Baker do. Part of the reason why they wanted to focus more on the stealth in this season was because, or focus on the action more, was because stealth is a lot more interesting than shoot 'em ups, because it runs the risk of coming across comedic if you're just making somebody like a badass a la Rambo within the setting. And plus, Bella Ramsey's kind of a small person, so it runs the risk of towing that line. But the fact that you're focusing on the weakness, the size, and the foreboding odds of them being in a situation makes the tension that much more palpable. Something I wanted to bring up early on that I started to write down. I wrote notes, y'all. I wrote notes today because I had a lot of feelings I did not want to forget. And the first one I wrote down, or the second one, was about Ellie and their way that they showcase her in this as opposed to the show. Because I feel like when you're experiencing Ellie in the game, it's very serious, it's very heavy, it's very driven and guided from a place of pain solely. And because we had Dina and Ellie get together fairly early on in the game before the journey even starts, there's no chance for the romance to really build. So because this is now something that happens on the journey, it allows us to see Ellie experience light from a place of darkness while having Dina also in that place with her, which gives us this feeling of continuity between seasons 1 and 2, other than it being an actor. Because I don't know if you guys felt this in the game, but even though it was Ashley Johnson, the character design looked similar. Ellie in the first game and Ellie in the second game, I felt like different people to me. And I feel like having Ellie still have that sense of humor about her, because she has somebody she can trust and confide in, makes it feel like this sense of continuity. And I wrote that down because at first I was like, okay, this is cool that we have this, but at the same time, it does sacrifice a little bit of that rage that we come to know from this character. But I like the fact that we get the tease of the guitar and then Dina coming in to remind her, this is why we're here. This is the reason why we're on this mission, to avenge this person that we both love. And I like that. I don't want to take all the points, so I'll say that I liked Dina's perspective onto why she's on the journey, because I think that it really gives a lot of context, and I like that change, because you find that out pretty up top in the game when they first start the journey. And last but not least, what I'll say before we get into the larger conversation, you guys get into your stuff, is that I really appreciated the changing of the order of Ellie and Dina going on the journey, and Jesse and Tommy going after them, because I think that really goes makes a lot more sense for this version of Tommy, because Tommy, before they went on the journey, said Joel wouldn't do this. Joel is somebody that would go avenge somebody rather than get revenge. And I feel like he's walking in his brother's footsteps, rather than Ellie and Dina having to go chase after Tommy. At least that's being part of the excuse. Tommy is going to save Ellie, because that's what Joel would do. And I think that's a much stronger narrative in writing choice. But yeah, that's my thoughts for now. Andrew, where you at, man?
Yeah, this was an incredible episode. I love that line that Greg said earlier on. This feels very lighthearted when we were with Dina and Ellie at first. It got extremely dark from then on.
Yeah.
The rest of the episode.
I think it was needed, though.
Yeah, no, of course. You need a little levity, especially when the rest of the episode is going to be as dark as it was. So I just found that ironic, and it's like poetry, it rhymes. So yeah, it was a great episode. I really love what they're doing with Dina. And again, in the VG, I really liked her too. But I think this show is just giving her so much more depth. And I really, and again, like there's certain moments in the game where, again, it happens during the gameplay. It's not even in cutscenes, but you have to get to those spots in the gameplay and actually listen to that dialogue. Like, for instance, I think that place you go, I forgot the name of the shop, but remember the shop I helped you find with the you open the key and you get the holster. She talks about being in New Mexico and the ravens and all that, and having the cats. So you get a little nuance from her there, but I really like this really drives home, on top of the fact that she was already close with Joel, and the fact that she's there in support of Ellie as well. Obviously that's the main reason she was there in the video game, because we didn't really see any scenes of her at all in the video game with Joel. But here, like, she's got a past traumatic experience, with what happened with her mother and her sister. And I think this is also like the fact that she felt so helpless, even though she, killed those individuals that were responsible there, but still she couldn't save them. And even though, and she again felt helpless here, again, it's going to be a little bit cathartic too for her, like, to get revenge for Joel here in this situation. So again, I love, again, the depth that we were getting to her character. We're learning so much more about her. And I feel like such a doofus.
Isabella Merced.
She is really doing a fantastic job as Dina, Isabella Merced. She is really, really killing it. I am so connected with her. Not merely for the fact that she is drop dead gorgeous, but I love her character just in general. She is fantastic. I really love this version of Dina so much. And I really, not that I wanted anything.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm only connected to her because she's drop dead gorgeous.
I understand. That's totally fair. That is totally fair. But I also, too, I really, too, and I'm not saying she wasn't, again, I'm sorry that we can all continue to make comparisons to the game. Not that she was not intuitive. I know. But I don't want every single thing to be just comparative. But not that she was not intuitive in the video game, but I love seeing it in full display here. Everything is about strategy with her. Yeah. And I love that. And also, too, I like that Ellie felt a little helpless in terms of, like, hey, I'm smart in this. She's like, all right, you go ahead and do it. And then once they found out they got to the stalker, I'm like, oh, no, Ellie kind of got a little bit of intellectual, leniency in terms of being like, hey, I've actually dealt with these creatures before. I know how to deal with them here. So I was like, I'm glad that Ellie got to have her moment to shine there in terms of strategizing there, because usually it's Dina who has to come up with the strategies in those types of situations, or just in general in situations. So I'm glad Ellie got to have it. And obviously everything went to shit because there were so many of them. And that was really scary too. I really think this season is just really doing a great job of hitting that horror element. And I know the games don't really, like, there are infected, but they're really in the background. I mean, the games are really driven by story and characters, but I really think this season is really nailing that horror, that tone, and that vibe. I'm really glad they really heard a little bit of that criticism in the first season of not having too many infected. But they're hitting it in the spots where I want them to hit it. It's effective. I will say this also too, that I really love that moment at the end where they included, obviously we saw Joel. I will say I saw a very quick interview with no spoilers. Neil Druckmann, I believe he directed the next episode. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. He said his favorite episode of the season is episode 6.
Interesting. Okay.
So I got to imagine it's a very Joel-centric, heavy episode. I have not read anything. I'm just basing it off of his comments. So I think
pretty obvious what they're going.
Yeah. It's kind of just from the ending. So That is some of my favorite moments in the game are that particular flashback. I love it because, again, the whole point of that song is, if I ever were to lose myself, or that the Future Day song, and the whole thing is Ellie's on this revenge mission, and she's got this reminder of Joel, like to try not to lose herself in this, and when you are in revenge, you do lose yourself. So I think this is like the reason why she's fighting, and I think it's going to be particularly interesting to contrast and cut back and forth between Ellie and what she's feeling when she's going back to these flashbacks. So I'm very genuinely interested to see those reaction shots as well as the actual scene and how they recreate that. I got more thoughts that I'd like to share, but I want to hear, Greg, how you feeling, buddy?
I think you guys are all correct on everything you all are laying down. I think the show's working for me kind of a lot. At the very beginning, I was like what you were saying. I was a bit thrown off by just how lighthearted Ellie was with Dina, but it did click, and the flipperoo, the switch happened when she cannot follow through with performing the song. One that if you have played the game, you're very familiar with the significance of the song, as Andrew was just driving home. And it's a good visual illustration between when she's with Dina and looking toward Dina is a symbol of what her future could be if she doesn't get hung up on being like a revenge addict.
Yeah.
And then when she's in revenge mode after thinking about Joel and the loss, she has a mood switch right there in the theater, and then we go to the opening credits. So I think it's a great dichotomy of the two paths, which is what they keep driving home for her. And to have Dina's monologue, Dina's so much more has more agency, is more impactful here as an individual character than solely a supporting character for Ellie, kind of by a lot. I gotta give this show its flowers on that. If there's one thing, for sure I think they've done better, it would be that they've done Dina kind of a lot better for a character that was already pretty good. So to significantly improve upon and build the romance, give someone for Bella Ramsey to be bouncing off with more often, I think is great. And then to ground her personal motive into her core development wound that is now being transferred and projected onto this Joel revenge mission makes her character feel that much more three-dimensional, way more alive. And I would like the remix. I like the remixing personally of show. I'm looking for a fancy word. Show comparison, right? So the way how they I'm even losing track of wait, what's the timeline of the game again of how that works, because they remix some stuff. When Ellie first encounters Sarah fights in the jungle, she's by herself. Jesse doesn't show up until much later after my favorite part. And my favorite gameplay part of the game. That's my personal favorite gameplay part of the video game. When she's when Ellie's going through the neighborhoods and the music keeps ramping up. It's right before Jesse shows up.
Yeah,
and they escape on the car shoot. That level is so hard, but every time I play the game, that's when I'm feeling the most in fuck you, W. I am so there in the revenge mode, and the music's building, and the more
you're killing all the dogs. I get it.
Yeah, and the more dogs you kill, the happier, more dopamine you get. The more people you kill, it's I'm really feeling it there. So it's my favorite level to play in the game. And so Jesse comes at that very opportune time when Ellie feels very alone and all odds are against her. It's really like Captain America going up against Thanos' army in that moment, but instead of no one on your left, it's just Ellie. So I love that whole thing. But what they decided to do here, and I didn't even really take note of what you pointed out with Tommy's motivation to go save Ellie. I'm oh yeah, that is different. I forgot about it because I'm so wrapped up in what they're actually doing. I like the remix too of the Stalkers. I think the way they handled the Stalkers. The way they're doing build-up is so cool, guys. From Spores to Stalkers And then if you're a gamer, you know the Rat King. And they're really teasing the Rat King heavily. I know I said it in the reaction, then I clarified because Andrew's really solid point there of, oh, yeah, actually the Rat King should already exist. I thought it would be cool if it was like, oh, they were watching like the early development stages, but that actually would have
It's actually I'm so sorry. I'm just telling you, it's happening at the exact same time that she's hitting Nora.
Yeah.
Abby is fighting the Rat King in the game, at least.
Yeah, yeah. And I think the horror of that and showing how they're two little girls. It feels like two little girls, two young girls. Like my mid-30s mind is like, these two young girls are sewing over their head right now, which isn't how it feels in the game.
Yeah.
You're not thinking that. But here you're like, children, stop! You're gonna get yourself killed. And I've learned to readjust to that framing of with experience and of like young love, like they're just 19. Oh my God, what are you doing? And then when you get like characters such as a Jesse showing up, who feels like, oh, the stern adult here to like rope them in, even though he was just impregnated one of them. But he's like stern adult who is roping them in. It has those layers, and then you get the Seraphite's perspective too of, oh shit, look how like fucking terrifying they are now. And I like how the show waited to do that because they don't really demonstrate to you how scary they are. Even and then to again, like we said it during the reaction is that. If I didn't know any better, I feel like they would kill Dina off by how much love and the dialogue they're given and backstory and advancement of their romance. And would you guys, is that the point? I'm like, what if they do? Like, I wouldn't be surprised. What if they do kill her off?
But to build off of your point, I love the choice they made here in having Dina on this journey because Ellie's not alone in that Seraphite part.
Right.
Gives her an opportunity for Dina to get shot, to be in more danger. And then it teases that choice Ellie makes later in the game, where she has to either go be with Dina and make sure she's safe, or go after her revenge quest. Because either she leaves the farm, or she stays in the farm, or she goes, make sure Dina and Jesse are okay, or she goes to the hospital by herself.
Yeah,
and
solid.
And she goes to do that, and it just reinforces why Dina's there in the first place, because Ellie is the person to make the headstrong, guns out, shoot first decision. I like the fact that they vocalize that early on. Like, yeah, you're always going to be the one to shoot first. And lo and behold, that's exactly what she does. And the whole part of them saying "I love you," I thought it was so sweet and so tender, because it really, while that whole scene was going on, even though obviously no one can replace Pedro, I feel like Dina is such a strong addition because you really like watching those two together. And when she was talking about her own experience and the fact that they saved her first murder for this point into the story, and you realize it's just an echoed version of what Ellie has gone through, but to a lesser extent. I mean, not even to a lesser extent, because she had to experience that as an 8-year-old, and how this pain is a guiding force. This pain is a dark manifestation of their love and the lengths they'd go to for love. And because she sees Ellie, she resonates with her love. She knows that it's essential for Ellie to go and do this, but this is also somebody that Dina loved, so she wants to accompany her on that journey, because she knows when she went through that, she was alone, so she doesn't want the person she loves to experience that loneliness as well.
I also think the fact that they're connecting over this, like you said earlier, this journey of revenge.
Yeah,
I think that's further encompassing their love too. They're feeling each other's love, if you will. I will say, too, I find it interesting as well. I think we pointed out a little bit during the reaction. I love how, because I don't think we really got the introduction in the game, at least, to the Seraphites until Ellie right here in day 2. I think that was the first time we really saw the Seraphites.
Yeah.
That was our intro. So I like how they showed them earlier. We kind of humanized them right away, you know what I mean? And then showed the WLF as dehumanizing. And we saw Isaac torturing them and just treating them so awful. And then to see the flip around and the reverse, kind of like, you know what I mean? Like kind of dehumanizing now the Seraphites and then humanizing the WLF, like in that torture method. like it was just very barbaric. And you can make an argument like, well, look at what they do to them. But it goes back to what you guys were saying earlier. It's all about perspective. You know what I mean? So,
and I wonder if that was an intentional choice to have the person torturing the WLF agent to almost resemble Jeffrey Wright in the fact that he's bald with a beard.
I think so. I think so because I was thinking that right as you were saying. I was like, yeah.
I mean, maybe it could be a coincidence. I don't know. But I was
either
like,
way, it's still both barbaric, torturous methods, and it's like, ugh, I don't like what either of them are doing. I'm not really on either of their sides. If this is how they, deal with each other in terms of tortures.
But it's cool that the show is building up the civil war between them.
Yeah.
And making more of an intentional effort to make it feel equal ground. Like, hey, maybe you guys shouldn't be fighting with each other. And whoever started this, they probably lost that narrative. You don't even know where this began with them fighting. Like, I'm sure they've lost sight of that. Sometimes that happens. You go, I think that's actually a line in Game of Thrones, is that sometimes you go so far down, like the battle, the war, that you forget how it even began.
Yeah.
And I think they're at that point. Like, why are we fighting again? Like, we're just like, we're supposed to, but we don't really know why we're fighting.
Yeah. Also, something I thought was cool, because obviously us as gamers aren't really shocked by this information, but for the show audience, this is probably a huge revelation, the fact that Ellie already knows that why Joel did what he did. Because the show audience isn't like, oh man, she's done all this, and without even knowing Joel went on this quest for her.
Yeah.
But the way that they did it here was so cool, because she goes in this whole monologue and she's like, yeah, I know, I don't care, I'm gonna kill you anyway.
Right.
But then for them to go from this extremely dark, rage-fueled action that's coming from a place of love slash sadness slash grief after that revelation, to then the return where you think that Ellie's waking up the next day, just for you to realize it's a flashback, and okay, we have returned, we are home, we are with Joel, and this is just this light moment. I thought that was such an interesting choice. And yeah, I'm really enjoying. If you guys haven't listened to it,
I do need
the
to listen
podcast
to it.
is so good. It gives you so much insight that you would not have. Granted, some of the stuff you can gather because obviously it's pretty laid out, but the reasoning for why they do certain things that they do, like for example, the delineation between Joel and between Dina and Ellie, is that Ellie is all passion, all drive, and she explodes from that place. She explodes from anger and drive and persistence, where Dina explodes from a place of love and excitement. So when those two things meet, they balance each other out. And I really like that, in the last episode, you see that, and granted, you see that in some of this episode as well, and coupled with Dina's strategic mind. And yeah, I just think it's all great.
Sense of humor bonds them.
And the sense of humor bonds them as well, which, granted, I feel like if they were to have followed the game, granted, it's already a bleak story, and there's not really a lot of room for humor. So for them to make Dina smarter and more funny, and we get to revel in that love in real time, makes the show not as dreary, even though a lot of it is pretty dreary.
No, that's a good way of putting it. I was very frustrated and saddened in season 1 when there were no spores. But I did like the whole hive mind thing. I thought that was fascinating. Again, I think what this show it really excels at, I kind of alluded to in the last episode. I think when you are adapting something, it's very important. Obviously, you got to hit the major beats, but then take liberties in other aspects. And I think Neil Druckmann and Craig Mazin, they do a really good job of that. And I thought this was such a great way, and narratively speaking, and how they introduced the spores here. And I am so excited, not only for, of course, just anybody who has not played the game to see, how they react to or just comment about with the spores, but I'm excited for the blind reaction with how they, how they interpret the whole spores thing as well. But I thought this was such a smart way to put it. And I was like thinking too, before we even got to this episode, I'm like, well, we don't have spores right now in this universe, because this was a very prevalent thing in the VG with Nora, because they go down there and there's spores. I'm like, how are they going to... Again, they're very good at taking their own liberties and doing their own thing and changing it up. They're really good at that, actually. I'm like, I wonder how they're going to do this with no spores, but I like how they do this, because we know in the VG that it is ground zero in that Seattle hospital in Lake Hill. So that is such a smart way to again, narratively speaking, to include the spores in there. But what do you guys think of that?
I thought the sports part was really cool. I thought it was really clever that, granted, we're there and we're seeing it, and we're seeing it as a point for Nora to recognize Ellie is immune. That said, I look forward to them returning to that setting, because at least within what we're seeing here and in the game, Ellie, when this particular part where she's walking down the hallway, doesn't really run into many infected, even though this is infected ground zero. And I imagine they're going to kind of do the same thing, where she kind of it cuts to Ellie back at the theater after this moment. But I thought it was really cool. I thought it was in listening to that podcast, they say that the spores and the cordyceps love, and them showing up in unison, them going to protect where there's danger, is their form of love, is their form of protection, and them biting and breathing is their form of love, just as these characters are a form of love. Also, we haven't really touched on this a ton, but we when Dina was talking about her backstory, right? I'm gonna go back to the point about the love, because this is all coming from love, sadness, pain, revenge, all of it. Is that when we're watching the wolf, when we're watching the Seraphites, we don't know which one came first, the chicken or the egg, right? But it's just this cycle of violence, which is a macrocosm of the individual conflict between Ellie and Abby. I think that's what all of the entire story is about, and I think it's doing that really, really effectively. And the fact that we have the cordyceps component to that as well almost makes it like a tri-war in some sense, but they're the ones that both sides fear the most. Because we haven't learned within the show yet, but the Seraphites call the infected demons.
Right. Well, we did hear one second of that, one line of that earlier, right, in one episode?
What do you mean?
Didn't we hear a line of that earlier?
Something like, is it demons? And the dad says wolves, but we don't know in the show what the demons are yet. But we as the game players know what demons are.
Okay. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Sorry. I thought you said they didn't even say the line demons yet.
No, they did.
Okay. Gotcha. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Greg, you have thoughts?
I think that, yeah, there's a lot I love about this show, most definitely. And inevitability is sometimes you come across certain intersections where you're like, I do kind of prefer I certainly prefer the way the game did it. And here's the crossroads where I'm at, is I think adaptation-wise, pretty much a 1-to-1 with a lot of lines, the Nora and Ellie showdown. Great. Like the expansion. It did not, in the replay of the game, in order to shroud mystery and secrecy in the game, all Nora says is, he killed so many people or something like that. Like it's something so fucking vague. Yeah. But that's all she says. And even though she's repeating a lot of lines that Abby said, when Abby killed Joel, Ellie wasn't around for that. It makes sense to me, like, yes, Nora, thank you. On the replays, it did dawn on me on the replays, like, it would have made more sense if Nora kind of elaborated a little bit more, and that might have convinced Ellie a little bit. So I like that the show actually takes that shot and doesn't convince Ellie. And I think the revenge moment and the eeriness of it is, it hits. It does. I think it hits a million times more in the game, though. And in the actual game itself, by the time when it does get to this, and sometimes it's like little things that kind of bother me about the show that they skip over, like sneaking into the well-guarded WLF hospital. It just all happens like off screen, and I don't know.
It's pretty quick, yeah. Even at the moment.
Kind of annoys me a little bit. It's like that to me is a part of what would probably make a lot more people invested more so and believe more in Bella Ramsey as Ellie, to watch them go through the rigorous activity of how to get around a bunch of fucking guards in the most heavily guarded section of the WLF to get into Nora's room, instead of just showing up.
Just speed runs it.
Yeah, and stuff like that does bother me. And I do think by the time it got to that moment in the game when Ellie is murdering Nora, I know that. Well, there's a big moment as a gamer. One of you guys made a reference to it about hit square. Is they make you like you have no choice, but you have to like hit the button that keeps bashing Nora and like participate in the revenge. And by the time we got to that point, I felt the harsh coldness of that and the ugliness and the conflict of that so much. Every time I play it in the game, I feel it so much. It is one of the turning points in the game and a massive turning point when you cut to like the next scene, especially after that.
Her hands trembling.
Yeah. You see how like distraught and like how much of the struggle and the wear and tear of what the journey was to get to Nora alone, and how exhausted she is, but the freaking resilience of revenge just coursing through her veins, and then going to kill Nora at that moment. There was something that felt less like, even in the video game, it feels weirdly more real to me than here, which felt more movie line like, which felt more movie like in the way it was done. So I weirdly didn't surrender as much to the harsh, but at the same time, that's my opinion, and I'm sure on the people who don't know the game, they probably feel totally different, and I'm sure there's a lot of gamers who completely disagree with me. My opinion is I feel like the game knocks it out of the park on this very important scene a lot harder and a lot more impactful than what we got here. But I like it.
It felt very earned once you got to that spot too. I mean, it's like, oh my God, that was really rigorous and tough to get to there. It's like, that's pretty easy
because you have to go through the whole chase, right?
Yeah,
and I think I'm conflicted because I hear what you're saying, and I partially agree with what you're saying because you have to go through all of that and the action of getting to that point, going through the part with the flares and then and throwing the bottle and having all the clickers take out the WLF and then running your way.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, and then running your way through the hallway, sneaking through that little peak in the wall just to get to Nora. It's like a whole thing to get to that point, and then you're beating her with the stick, right? And part of me agrees with that because it does feel like earned. Like we're going on this quest. We're gonna get to Abby. The other part of me is feeling like by the time that we're getting to the scene after the point and her hand is trembling, like, and obviously because it's a more intimate murder, right? I think the fact that if we are being, I guess, more realistic about it, right, is the fact that Ellie's a really small person. And the fact I don't think she could realistically take out a bunch of guys by stabbing them in the neck. So by minimizing the amount of people that she murders on her way to Nora, the impact of the action of her beating her with a stick and then her hand trembling by the violent act of what this girl has what this girl has had to do coming all the way across the country from a place where she was relatively safe for the last 5 years, and her having to engage in such an intimate and violent murder while not having to murder a ton of people. I think it hits differently. We have to see the aftermath of what that murder is like, see if it does play out like it does in the game. But I think from that perspective, minimizing the amount of people that she murders on her way to that, I think makes that moment hit harder, but we have to see how that's executed. Another thing I'm curious to see if they alter or expand upon is the fact that because Dina and Ellie fell in love on this journey, and then now Jesse is here, and he doesn't know that she's pregnant, or the fact that they're together, what does that do for their dynamic? Because Dina's still in the closet. Does she accept and embrace Ellie as her partner? Does she kind of fall back into Jesse because he's the one taking care of her because she's pregnant, has an arrow in her leg? Does Ellie feel like a sense of inferiority or conflict about the fact that this man who is here, who is her last partner? I don't know. I hope they explore that some more.
They foreshadowed two different things here in this episode. First, they were talking about triangles. Obviously, a little bit of a triangle here in regards to Ellie, Jesse, and Dina. And then number two, the way Jesse found Dina and Ellie was because they drew their location, I guess, by triangulating it on a map we know in the VG that that's how Abby finds Ellie, Dina, and all them in the video game. So I find it interesting. Like, and Jesse mentions that to her in this episode. Assuming that's what they do in season 3, if that's where we're gonna go, it's gonna be interesting to see that Ellie does not learn from that. Like, you know what I mean? So, and obviously we remember what happens in that moment. She just had, again, obviously, you know, these are spoilers. She has just killed Mel and Owen. And again, she's trembling in the moment. Like, oh my God, I just killed a pregnant woman, and like drops the map and like is just like not in the right frame of mind. But again, still has not learned her lesson from leaving a map where people can find you type of thing. So I think that's going to be interesting, like not learning the errors of your ways.
Yep. Well, that was a long one.
Yep.
And I'm glad we could do it. Thank you guys so much for being here. Now we toss it to you. What did you think about this episode? Please leave your honest thoughts in the comments below. And we appreciate you all for being here. Reject Nation, we'll see you for next week's episode. Keep a lookout for the blind reaction.